Hi everyone, I'm Tania de Zedán, board chair at CAG. Welcome to A Dream, A Plan, A Campus, a 4-episode podcast series covering the goals and details for the renewed CAG campus. To be honest, I'm super excited. We have today here with us Omar Calderon from Perkins Eastman, the second wonderful architect. And now we're ready just to blow our minds and imaginations with what's gonna be in our master's facility plan. So to start in, and since you've raised very interesting phrases like provoking thought, I'm going to start with you provoking some of your thoughts by asking you, how's been your experience with CAG in Guatemala?
Oh, Guatemala. I love Guatemala. I love Guatemala City. This is a warm place of warm people. I love the food. It has all the elements. The climate, the weather is wonderful. So it's just it's been a terrific experience for me. Personal growth, learning about the country, learning about the community here, and their aspirations. So it's been really just a fantastic learning experience for me and the rest of the team that's working on this.
So Omar, we've learned through this process that the master's facility plan had like two phases. The first part. One was like to understand what's CAG's DNA, what were we about, our culture, our beliefs, and also how we dream the different stakeholders, but taking very seriously what our children and students have to say. But the second part, now that I believe you're in charge of that, has to do with the specific learning projects or that are going to be built in a new facility, or you will let us know at this moment. So please just go on and describe them.
Yes. So I'll say briefly, it's important to remember that we learn a great deal from talking to the community and in particularly the students. And one of the things that we learned is how important it was for the students, the outdoor space, the greenery, the courtyards. And so it was clear to us that whatever new proposals were made as part of a master plan, that the master plan needed to resonate with that. It needed to amplify that. It needed to respect that. And more importantly, that new buildings, however they're proposed, should not detract or limit the amount of green space.
Okay, yeah.
So in the master plan proposes one major structure called the Innovation Center.
Wow.
And in the Innovation Center, we have things like sciences, we have art studios, we have design technology spaces where one can learn how to do robotics. There's even a food lab. And all of these things, being able to house them in one facility creates incredible opportunities for cross-fertilization and interdisciplinary thinking about learning. The other thing that it creates is just opportunities for for learning that would otherwise not be present, right? In my mind, the Innovation Center is a place of possibilities.
Yeah, great, Omar. I can't wait. I wish I was 10 years old and I could go back to school. Can you imagine an innovation place? That's like a dream come true, especially in a world that is facing very hard challenges. And what we need is critical thinkers, students that can play around and feel comfortable to try different things. So I guess innovation being in the center as a philosophical issue in a building, that just makes me crazy.
Yes.
And Omar, tell me something. Like we understand that this master's facility plan has several phases, but can you share with us like some of the plans and pictures that the community definitely need to know, and this would be a great moment for unveiling them?
Yes. So we spoke a little bit about the Innovation Center, and we see that as a critical first phase in the development of the campus. And here's an image of an artist's rendition of what that might look like, and is actually being proposed for the place where the existing theater is currently located.
Yeah.
So this structure will replace a building that's already on campus, therefore not building over green space, right? And that was critical for the thinking. So what you're seeing is a collection of almost like pavilions that are aggregated around a courtyard space. And this is where the sciences, the art, the food lab, and a few other key spaces will be located. Then, as part of the subsequent phase, we have also reconstructed athletic facility or athletic center. And again, knowing that gymnasiums are rather big buildings, we didn't want to build over green space. The master plan proposes a provocative idea, which is to build the gymnasium over the pool, therefore keeping the footprint very compact so that we can do more with the site. And so that gymnasium facility would have two side-by-side courts for having multiple classes, and would also have a big competition court in the center. So it'll be larger than what exists today in the campus and amplify the athletic and recreation opportunities for the students. Then beyond that, we have a new theater, a new performing arts center. So you might recall that the Innovation Center is being built where the existing theater is. Well, we need to find room to replace that. So we have made room in here for a new performing arts center that is multi-use, and that is critical to understand. The theaters, by and large, remain rather unused throughout the day. So how do we create a structure that we can maximize its use? So we do so by creating a flat floor and having retractable seating so that when it's not being used as a performing arts center, you can actually retract the seats and then use that space for other kinds of things. And then lastly, we have what we call the Universal Center. This is a building that has an auxiliary gym. It has a new cafeteria space for students, and it has drama spaces and music spaces that are meant to support the performing arts building, which is right next door. So all of these things are coalescing into the first critical phase of projects. There's one last detail, and that is parking. What do we do with the cars? So with the Innovation Center, we have made an allocation for an underground parking area. So the entire facility will have a parking lot underneath that is accessible by this ramp that you see here on to my right. And so that completes the first series of projects in the first phase.
Well, Omar, no doubt we have a very, very ambitious master's facility plan. So I guess you'll have us working for a long time and many years. But you know what? When you say, wow, that's amazing, wow, this is huge. You know, this school was built many, many years ago by people who were very forward-thinking, very progressive, that thought that something that didn't exist could exist.
Yes.
And we're definitely following those footprints, and we're inspired, and we're legacy, and we'll do it because that's exactly what our students need in order to make an impact in our country and in the world. Why not? Omar, what are the next goals in the midterm?
So in the midterm project, we have once the Innovation Center is completed, we then focus our attention on the high school. And for the high school, we have what we have in mind is an amplification of the classroom spaces. So when the school was first built, and this is one of the original drawings that we discovered when we were doing our research. When the school was first built, the classrooms were all 10 meters by 10 meters. And so that actually afforded teachers flexibility.
Yeah.
And over time, as the needs of the campus changed and the campus grew in population, there was a need for more classrooms. So therefore, the classrooms became a little bit smaller because we needed to create more of them. So what we would like to do is we actually would like to return the classroom size to that original dimension of 10 meters by 10 meters, which will create again very flexible spaces. So you were talking about the campus was built by parents and the community, and they had these really great aspirations. Well, we want to return to those. We want to return to those fundamentals to a large degree. So the high school will be the focus of the next, let's call it midterm projects. There's another phase beyond that, which we call the long-term projects. Yeah. And it includes and involves thinking about the quad space, thinking about that learning space, thinking about the quad as a learning space and as a place for gathering for students. And so how do you create an outdoor space that can work as a quad, as an outdoor space, but also as a gathering space for students? And the second project in the long-term project list is the library, thinking about the space that we're in here and thinking about the future of the library. What role would the library play in education in the future, and how do you future-proof this space so that it can deliver that vision to the students at CAG? There's one other little project that I failed to mention, and that is after we do the high school classrooms, we also shift our focus to the middle school. And there's an opportunity to create additional classes there in the form of a new pavilion for the middle school, and perhaps also think about accessibility, thinking about movement vertically through the campus and providing perhaps a ramp or an elevator that can make that transition between floors a little easier for everyone on campus.
Yes, thank you, Omar. I love when you say thinking and planning spaces to build community, because CAG is all about community. The school experience, besides being academical, besides being about critical thinking, it's an emotional one. So I guess we're on the right track. And to wrap it over, it's time for our Student Wonder Corner, and it's our students asking amazing questions, which we will not answer, but we surely have in mind. Let's see what they have.
Is there going to be a movie theater in school?
That's nice. Well, I guess we're planning about, I love how you call performing arts space, because it's not an auditorium, it's a performing arts space. So thank you very much, Omar, for inspiring us. Thank you for making possible this design, for making our dreams real. And of course, this is the first episode of many others. And we will be taking our community along of how this dream will come true. So thanks for joining me. I'm Tania de Zedán, board chair at CAG. Until next time.